Okay, so let's still do our usual. As the temperature is getting a little colder, we might actually need to do a like a longer warm up, just to keep our joints safe. I'm going to spotlight myself just to make it easy to see. Okay, so let's still do our usual. Okay, but we might have to do a little longer, or if you feel like your body is still cold afterwards, just take it slower during the aerobics part, pretty much. Okay, as usual, check our posture. Okay, so taller, wider is the same reminder. Okay, but still able to be sort of relaxed. Okay, so make yourself taller for the head. Imagine pushing a book up to the ceiling, taking up more space around you. Okay, but able to still rotate the shoulders, rotate the spine, be able to take a deep breath in. Okay, also a deep breath out. Okay, so just kind of march for maybe a few seconds first. Okay, while just taking note of how our body feels today. Okay, so let's move our head side to side. Okay, let's change it a little bit. Let's also do a little bit of a head tilt, I guess. Okay, so if this makes you feel dizzy, don't do it. Okay, let's see if you can turn to the side and then look down towards the ground. Okay, take this as slowly as you need to. Okay, and let's go from the bottom, I guess bottom right, okay, to the maybe the top left. Okay, so just not just turning our head side to side, but maybe kind of a little bit of an angle. Okay, and when you feel ready, you can do the same thing, the opposite towards the ground, and then the opposite corner to the seat. Okay, if this hurts in any way, stop. If there's a little sound, that's usually okay, unless your doctor have told you not to do so. Okay, and let's just shake it out afterwards. Okay, let's move the spine. Okay, so kind of move, kind of similar to before. We're just going to slouch down a little bit. Okay, we're going to take a deep breath in, open it up the chest. Okay, bring our heart up to the ceiling. Okay, and then as you breathe out, you're just going to relax the whole spine a little bit. Okay, breathing out fully. Okay, breathing in. Once again, bring the chest up to the ceiling. Okay, and maybe repeat one more time. Okay, let's do rotation. Okay, you're gonna reach towards maybe your right side, my left. Okay, and then you're gonna breathe in, reaching the opposite way. Okay, so you're rotating through a little bit more so through the spine. Your hips should be kind of still pointing kind of forward. Okay, breathing out fully as you reach in. Breathing in, sorry, breathing in fully as you reach this way. And then as you close, you're gonna breathe out. Okay, same idea, just the opposite side. Okay, so rotating through the chest, the upper spine a little bit more. Okay, let's do a little bit of side tilting. Okay, we're going to reach kind of just overhead a little bit, reaching over our center. Okay, still breathing in as you open up the chest, open up the ribs. You can try to reach a little further if your shoulders does not hurt. Slowly try to reach a little further across. Okay, and let's go into almost like a rotation and also side tilting. Okay, so you just doing like almost like a very sassy looking walk. Okay, try to roll your shoulders back. Okay, but also tilt, you're just also tilting the spine a little bit. Okay, and you can also change direction and kind of do it almost forward. Okay, kind of just play around. There's no right or wrong way. Just explore what your body can do. Okay, and then just focusing just on the shoulders. Okay, big circles through the shoulders. Once again, try to pull your shoulders back and down a little bit more than the other directions, because that's what we tend to do less of in our day-to-day life. Okay, and then more so just the shoulder joint, I guess, inside the shoulder blade. Okay, open and closing. Try to open at the palm as well as you reach back. Okay, you can close your fist as you come back. Okay, forward and back. Okay, let's go into a circle. with the whole shoulders first. Okay, it doesn't have to be very high. Okay, opposite direction. Okay, anchoring our elbows close to the body. Okay, but try to rotate. Okay, so elbows is staying in the same place, my hands are going out. Okay, elbows up high, same idea, but this time elbows kind of at shoulder height level, but you're still trying to rotate the kind of the lower arm, I guess. Okay, and then the wrist. Okay, both directions. Okay, kind of the hands. Kind of just try to see if you can kind of grab something and then kind of roll it back out. Okay, and if you can, try to do the opposite where you try to make a claw shape first and then try to extend the fingers back out. Okay, and then just side to side with the fingers. Okay, and then onto the hips and the lower body. Okay, just our usual hip circles. Okay, pay attention to where you might feel you're a little bit more limited. So usually that might be more forward. Okay, and you might want to spend a little bit more time there or pay a little more attention to that spot. Okay, moving the hips backwards a little bit more. Slight bend in knees. Okay, pushing the hips back. Long spine. So think of once again, like when we're standing, we want to make ourselves taller and longer. Same idea here. We just want to make ourselves taller and longer, feeling a little bit of contraction in the spine. Okay, and let's come back. Okay, let's do about 5 times. Okay, so it's just a slight bend in knees, but you should feel probably a little bit of a stretch behind your thighs. Okay, breathe any way that you prefer here. All right, for this one, I'd like to breathe in as I push back. Okay, once again, chest up towards the top of the head. Okay, and then last one, we're going to hold here for a little bit. Once again, if our chair around, if you need a little holding on. Okay, this time let's move our arms a little more. So stay in this position, you're going to raise one arm up to the ceiling or top of the head rather. Okay, and then we're going to alternate. Okay, so breathing in, try to reach in the direction of the top of your head. Okay, let's do about 3 times on both sides. So breathing in. Okay, only go as far as you feel comfortable. Okay, so that's the second time. Okay, third time. Okay, and coming back. Move your feet a little bit just in case you feel a little dizzy. Pause as long as you need to until you feel like you are completely okay. Okay, so we're going to pause here for a second just so that everything is good. Okay, and let's move the front of the hips. Okay, so this one, do you hold onto a wall or a chair? This one we've done before as well. Okay, so one leg forward, one leg back. Try to point your belly button forward. Point both toes forward. Okay, and you're just going to push your hips forward, but keeping the back leg straight, feeling a stretch in the front of the back leg. Okay, and you're just going to breathe in. If you can, see if you can squeeze your butt muscle a little bit to kind of help push the hips a little forward. Okay, so probably a little uncomfortable, but don't go into the point of pain. So back off if it's actually painful to you. Okay, but try to take a breath in as you push your hips forward. Okay, and when you're ready, just come back out. Okay, and kind of switch directions when you're good to go. Okay, same idea. So you shouldn't be able to see my belly button. I should be pointing it that away. Okay, I'm trying to keep my back leg straight. Back heel can be on or off the ground. Okay, and I'm just trying to take a breath in. As I push my hips a little forward, I'm trying to squeeze my butt muscle, cut out my butt muscle a little bit to keep my legs straight. As I drive my hips forward. Okay, around 3 to 5 times. Okay, and then coming back out a little bit. Okay, let's rotate the hips a little bit. So we're just going to have kind of one heel on the ground. Okay, just try to rotate through your hips. Okay, so I'm putting a cigarette pretty much. Okay, while keeping my hips the same place, not really moving. It's really my hip joint, or rather my leg that's kind of turning in and out. Okay, and same idea. Okay, and let's draw a circle on the ground. So this one, probably hold on to a chair. Okay, see if you can draw maybe a half circle or even bigger than a half circle all the way around. It's easier if you hold on to something for this. Okay, and once again, pay attention where you feel the most tightened. So you might feel you have a little more trouble going behind you. You might feel like you have to lean forward. Okay, see if you can keep the same upper body posture. Okay, so my upper body is not moving. I am just moving my leg off through my hip joint. Okay, so I might feel like I'm having to squeeze my butt a little bit to get my leg behind me without having to lean forward and things like that. Okay, so we're just trying, because we sit a lot, we tend to be better around here, and we tend to be pretty bad behind us. Okay, so see if you can keep the same upper body posture. Okay, but try to bring your leg behind you a little bit more. Okay, just go as far as you can without losing your balance or going into pain. So I'm not the most flexible person either, so I probably need to work on going behind me a little more as well. Okay, so let's check. Let's move the knees. Just bend and extend like we usually do. At the same time, we might as well bend and extend the elbows at the same as well. Okay, let's put a little bit load through the knees. Okay, so this is going to a kind of a squatting pattern. Okay, so push the hips back, bend the knees a little bit. Okay, so sitting behind you. Okay, and coming back out. Okay, so feet should be flat on the ground. Leg knees should be over your toes. Okay, once again, try to keep a tall posture throughout. Slowly going a little deeper into a squat, or sitting, kind of imagine sitting on a lower chair while keeping the spine nice and long. Okay, maybe about 5 times. Okay, and then on to the ankles. Okay, so rocking back and forth. Lean forward to balance if you need to. Okay, side to side. Okay, once again, try and lift the feet up a little bit. Keep bending toes a little bit. So let's try to push into our toes. Kind of one leg at a time. Okay, same thing the opposite way. Okay, same backwards. Okay, so this one, do hold on to something. Put your foot behind you a little bit and try to kind of push the back of your foot onto the ground, kind of stretching our toes in the opposite direction a little bit. Might be more comfortable if you're wearing shoes. Okay, and same idea on the opposite leg. Okay, and then just move your toes a little bit. Wiggle them back out. Try to spread them out a little bit. And just in general, play around with your toes a little bit. Okay, and let's go into, and that's a warm up. Hopefully your body feels a little warmer. Your joints will be a little smoother. Okay, and we're just going into the aerobic parts. Just double checking my mic and then I'm recording. Okay, good. Okay, so once again, the goal is just to get a heart rate a little bit higher and try to sustain it. Okay, so we're trying to kind of safely stress the heart, make it work a little harder, and that's how our body improves in general, is to apply kind of the right amount of stress to it. So if you're trying to get better, you do have to push yourself a little bit, but maybe less so than we think. Okay, so same reminder, okay, posture. Can we get taller? Can we get wider? Okay, can we take up more space and move our arms a little bit? Okay, feel your spine rotating a little bit side to side as you walk. Okay, being to take deep breath in and out whenever we can. Okay, as we get faster, we are going to take shorter breaths. Okay, but while we're just marching at a relatively slow pace, see if you can take a deep breath in. Feel the air going into your stomach area, belly area. As you breathe out, your stomach kind of sinking in a little bit, kind of your belly button closer to your spine. Okay, so let's exaggerate motion a little bit, maybe go a little bit faster. Okay, still trying to maintain that posture. Okay, I want to try to push the head backwards a little bit. Okay, so that everything aligns from your head all the way down to your hips. Okay, so let's really exaggerate a little bit. Okay, so let's swing the arms a little bit side to side. Okay, the exaggerate motion maybe go a little slower than before. Okay, let's exaggerate the feet as well. So try to maybe lift it out to the side a little more. Okay, let's just for fun see if you can really exaggerate. Maybe like a cartoon character, see if you can really exaggerate motions a little bit just to play around. Okay, can we go like a monkey a little bit faster? 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, and nice and proud chest. Okay, take up as much space as you can, like you own the road you're walking on. Okay, now we need to go a little faster again, like a monkey. Going for a little faster for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, once again, walk like you own the place. Okay, and let's just go back to more of a regular walk. Once again, see how you're feeling. And if you feel comfortable, let's get our heart rate up a little faster. Okay, so that usually involves going a little faster. Okay, so we're gonna go kind of similar pattern as last time. So we're gonna go kind of march in between, and then in between the marching, we're gonna go do other things. Okay, so we're gonna march, and then we're gonna take a step out to one way, reaching out in the opposite direction. Okay, so we march. Okay, when you're ready, you're gonna reach and then come back, and going back to a march in between. Okay, and then reach out and come back. Okay, how long you go rest kind of in between, it's up to you. Okay, you can take your time and then just reach out whenever you feel comfortable. Okay, so let's go a little more complicated. Let's learn to switch direction more quickly. So we're gonna march in between. Okay, you're gonna reach one way, reach the other way, and then come back. Okay, so kind of 2 in a row. Okay, so we reach, reach, okay, and then back to the marching. Okay, and whenever you feel ready again, same idea, you're gonna reach, reach, and come back. Okay, so just go in your own pace. You can take it really slowly if you want, okay, or if you really want to try, take it a little harder, see if you can quickly switch directions quickly, kind of play around with which direction you're starting with. So you always have your right side, see if you can start the left this side, okay, and then coming back. Okay, so similar pattern, we're still reaching left and right, okay, but we're gonna walk a few steps one way first. Imagine you grab something and then bring it back to the center. Okay, so the sidewalk, reach for something, coming back to the center. Okay, so this time is reaching up, kind of reaching a little lower this time. Okay, so take a few steps, grab something, come back. Okay, once again, how low you're reaching is completely up to you. Okay, so reach, come back, take a few steps all the way, reach, and then come back. Okay, so once again, if it makes you feel dizzy, please don't reach too low. Okay, so same idea. We're gonna make the shift in direction a little bit more from one to the other side. So you're gonna imagine you're gonna walk this way, grab something, put it on the opposite side. Okay, so marching in between to keep a heart rate up. Okay, you're gonna take a few steps, reach over the other side, put it down on the other side. Okay, now let's try to see if you can go from the opposite direction. So you're gonna take a few steps, reach that direction, and then put it on the opposite way. can play around, just imagine different scenarios. Okay, but once again, do it as safely as you need to. So go as slow as you need to. Don't reach down too low if it makes you feel dizzy. Okay, so let's come back. Let's try to go up and down a little more this time. Okay, so we're going to kind of still, so we're going to march. Okay, and then reach down and then put it up on a shelf. Okay, so we're going to march first, reach down, reach up, okay, and then back to the marching. Okay, so once again, start off slower first, go with table height to forehead level, and then just back to the marching. Okay, if you feel comfortable, you can reach a little lower, reach a little higher up. Okay, and take as long as you need in between. The marching in between can be as slow as this. Okay, so whatever makes you feel comfortable. Okay, so I'll be reaching down and up. Okay, whenever you're ready, once again, reaching down and up. Okay, so we're going to add a little bit of a component side to side again. Okay, so when they march a few steps this way, going to reach there, go over other way, and then reach out. Okay, so just a little more coordination between the legs, arms, and legs. So we're going to reach, go one way, reach there, go the other way, and reach out. Okay, and then back to the center. Okay, same idea. Go the other way a few steps, reach down a little bit, go the opposite way, put it up on the shelf. Okay, kind of always back to the center, or if you prefer, you can go side to side more quickly. Okay, reach down. Okay, and reach up. Okay, or you can do the opposite. You can kind of reach up first. Okay, and then reach down. Okay, so just play around. As long as you're moving, that's fine. Okay, so let's try to take this forward and back now. Okay, so same idea, but this time, okay, check behind you first. I need to be careful because I have things behind me. Okay, kind of reach, go back, reach down, go forward, and then reach up. Okay, and you can go back and forth a little bit. Okay, and once again, rest in between, what we call active rest. So just kind of keep moving to catch your breath if you need to. Okay, but try to keep moving in some ways. Okay, so let's try to, if you feel comfortable, let's try to increase the pace a little bit again. Okay, or just move your arms a little bit faster. Okay, so let's move the arms and shoulders a little more. Okay, let's try to reach kind of in this direction. Hopefully my mic is not generating too much noise as I do this. Okay, let's see if we can reach in opposite direction. Okay, see if you can go more side to side while we're moving. Okay, straight out to the side. Okay, see if you can point one palm up, one palm down as you reach out side to side. Okay, see if you have your arms out. Okay, you can just keep it steady here. Okay, as you do so, your shoulders is probably going to be feeling a little more tight by now. Okay, see if you can maybe move it forward a little bit. Maybe a little easier. Okay, and then over to the side. Okay, maybe just one last time. Shoulders might be feeling a little tight by now. Okay, but let's move back out. Okay, and then relaxing for a second. Okay, so we have about 20 seconds left. Okay, so let's just try to go last sprint. Okay, last sprint. Okay, just a little bit faster. Okay, just something you're comfortable with. Okay, we have 10 more seconds or so. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Good job, everyone. Okay, and let's slow back down. Okay, do a body scan. See where you're still tense. Okay, relax them if you can. Okay, so keep your calves moving. Okay, but try to slow down your breathing a little bit. You try to go back into that belly breathing as much as we can. Okay, to tell our body to go back into more of a relaxed state. Let's kind of check. Pay attention to how fast you're breathing, how fast your heart rate is feeling. Okay, so I can still feel my breathing a little bit faster. So I want to just march in place for a little longer. Okay, so good job, everyone. Let's check the time. Right now it's 11:30. Okay, so let's take a kind of at least a 2-minute break. Okay, so we're gonna drink enough water, go to the bathroom, keep moving if you still feel out your breath. Okay, but we'll see everyone in 2 minutes. We'll be using the bands today as well. Okay, so see everyone in 2 minutes. Okay, so it's almost 11:33. Okay, so let's get ready for the strength training part. So today for the upper body, let's go into a pulling pattern. So pulling is anytime you bring something from out in front of you closer to the body. And we're gonna combine 2 movements today just to make it a little more interesting. Okay, but to start off, we're gonna sit on a chair a little bit closer to the edge, okay, so that we can have at least kind of 1 foot or 1 leg kind of straight out in front. And you can hook the middle of your band on your foot. Okay, as usual, check your posture. Okay, so once again, we're just trying to get ourselves a little bit taller through the spine. Okay, so you can think of that as bringing your heart up to the ceiling. Okay, and you can, I like to kind of wrap the band a little bit around once around my hand, so it makes it easier to hold. Okay, and the first movement is that we're just going to pull the elbows back and also the shoulders back at the same time. Okay, and we're going to combine that the second movement where we're trying to keep the elbows where it is to start off with and just bring the hands a little bit closer to the shoulders. Okay, so for this one, you might want to have the band coming out from the bottom of your hand. Okay, so you might have to play around that a little bit just so that it's more comfortable for you. Okay, I need to figure that out. Okay, so we kind of what we call a roll into a curling pattern. So this one will be a little tougher. So where you keep the elbows in place and just bring your knuckles or your thumb closer to your shoulders. Okay, so we'll call that that's fun number 1. Okay, so to make it easier, it might just be wrap, kind of squint to the band your ball. Okay, but make sure the band is coming out from your pinky side. Okay, so it'll be number 2, shoulders back, elbows back. Okay, and then knuckles 2 is like shoulders, so 2. 3, 3. Okay, so the difference is that whether my elbows are going backwards, okay, and whether my elbows are staying in the same place. Okay, so we're going to feel it in the bicep area and a little bit in the mid back. Okay, so let's call this 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7. Okay, so you probably feel like your bicep, upper arm is getting a little more tired than the other areas, okay, because it is a smaller muscle. Okay, so just do anywhere from kind of 8 to 12 reps. So I'm just going to go to about 10 for myself. Okay, and then coming back together. Okay, and pausing for a second. Okay, so that's why we sometimes need to, next one we might, so kind of listen to your body. So for me myself, I feel it more tiring on this area and then not much else kind of. So what I might try later on is that I might do 2 repetitions of the row, okay, for every one of this. Okay, so just to balance things out, so I'm not overworking this side. I'm trying to work equally on the front and also the back of the arm. Okay, so let's go on to the lower body. So we're just going to go into a standing position. Okay, so for this one, we're also going to do kind of a combination, what we call combination movement. So easier if you hold on a chair, okay, but you'll be standing on one end of the band. Okay, so the other end, you can either put it beside your leg, or sometimes I like to just kind of move it, push it, wrap it around the top of the leg, and just grab it on top of the chair. Then I can, this arm can be free to do whatever. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to kick one time out to the side, and then one time closer to the back. Okay, so it will look something like this. Okay, so we'll be pushing out. Okay, and then pushing more backwards. Okay, so slightly different parts of the hip. Okay, so this will be 1. Okay, so it'll be 2, 2. Okay, so out to the side, more towards the back. Okay, 4, 4, 5, 5. Okay, so can be equally tiring on both sides. 6. So aim for about kind of 5 to 10 times. 6, 7, 7. Okay, it might be pretty tiring on the standing leg side already. 8. Okay, and 8. Okay, so for myself, I'm going to stop at 8, just so I can, because I feel the opposite hip getting pretty sore. And I'm just going to switch over to the other side whenever I feel ready. Okay, so same idea. Stand at the one end of the band, loop it on top, so you can just anchor the band on the chair. Okay, and whenever I feel ready, I'm going to kick out to the side and then towards the back. Okay, so it'll be 1. Okay, and then backwards. 1, 2, 2, 3, 3. Okay, it might be more tired by now because you already worked the opposite hip already. Okay, so next time I might not do as many on each side, because by 5, I'm already pretty tired. 6, 6. Okay, so ask yourself how many more times can I do? And most I might be able to do like 5 more. Okay, so I might just do maybe just 1 more rep, and I'm going to call it a day for my game. Going to save some energy left, so we don't have to push ourselves to the extreme. Okay, we just have to work hard enough to get some change in the body. So shake it out a little bit. Okay, and then we're just gonna go on to the balance part. Okay, so for this one, once again, grab as many support as you need. Okay, so let's work on a single leg balance today, but we're gonna add a little bit of movement. Okay, so have, once again, chairs on the side, the back, the wall behind you. Okay, so once again, let's find let's check our balance first on the leg, and also find a position where we can hold for at least 10 seconds. Okay, so you might feel a little more tired by now already. Okay, so I might choose to put one leg on the floor. Okay, but this is a spot where I can feel a little bit of challenge. I can feel my body working, but it's not so bad. I can still comfortably hold this for about 10 seconds. Okay, and you can try to please check the other side as well. Okay, find a position where you can comfortably hold for at least 10 seconds, maybe with a slight amount of challenge. Okay, so what we're gonna do is that we're gonna do single leg, okay, but we're gonna add a little bit of movement. So this movement is gonna be pretty small. Okay, so I'm gonna turn sideways, but pretend that I have some chairs beside me. Okay, and what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna feel my weight, where my weight is on my leg right now. Okay, and now I'm gonna see if I can shift my weight a little more towards my toes. Okay, so that's a little more challenging for me. Okay, and see if you can shift your weight a little bit closer to your heels. Okay, so you pay attention to your bottom of your foot or your feet if you're standing both legs together. Okay, and see if you can just kind of gently shift your weight front to back. And I just lost the balance before a little bit. And I need to turn on my phone. Okay, so once again, that's just shifting my weight a little more forward. I should change this angle, as probably can't see much if I'm facing you. Okay, a little more forward, a little more back. Okay, so right now we're using our ankles and our foot to control our balance. Okay, usually we might use our bigger muscles like kind of our hips. That's why we kind of sway back and forth using our hips to balance. Okay, but today let's try to use more of what we call ankle strategy. So you can try on the other side as well. So once again, find a spot. You can be on one leg, or you can have the other leg slightly touching. Okay, but pay attention to where your balance point is. Okay, and see if you can shift your weight a little more forward, shift your weight a little further back. You can even side to side a little bit, but that's quite difficult. You're not going to be able to move much. Okay, but you can kind of pay attention to what happens if you shift my weight a little off to one side, shift my weight over to the other side. It's quite difficult to maintain a balance just because our feet are kind of narrow side to side, right? So it's easier to control our balance front to back than it is to go side to side. That's why we need to use our body, use our hips to do so. Okay, but just kind of explore, maybe even see if you can go almost like a small circle even. Okay, so a very small circle, just pay attention to where the pressure is on the standing foot. Okay, and just being mindful that's one way we can control balance is that through the feet. Sometimes that's why a toe spread can be useful. If your toes are more spread apart, there's a little wider base for you to control your balance. Okay, and then just shake it out. And once again, we're going to repeat these 3 exercises one more time. Okay, starting off, back off to the roll to the curl. Okay, so I'm going to sit back down first. Once again, sit closer to the edge until you can put one leg kind of straight on the floor. If your leg is dangling, you might need to sit just a little more forward. Okay, maybe bunch the band, scrunch the band a little bit just so it's easier to hold. The band, you want the band to be coming out from the pinky side, okay, or from the bottom, like this. Okay, check your posture, chest tall. Okay, and you're just going to elbows back, shoulders back. Okay, elbow stays in the same place, just your hands coming back out. Okay, so like we mentioned before, let's try to do 2 rolls to 1 curl, okay, because we know the roll is easier for us. Okay, so we'll go 1, 2, second roll. Okay, and then third one, we can go up to a curl. Okay, and that will be 2, 2, 3. Okay, and then 3, 2, 3. Okay, so now I can feel my upper back muscles working a little bit harder. I can feel just a little bit of effort there for 2, 3. Okay, so a little more balance between the front and the back. Okay, so you want to squeeze your shoulders back and squeeze your shoulder blades together. 5, 2, 3. 6, 2, 3. Okay, so once again, we don't have to always go to 10. Okay, kind of pay attention to how much you feel, how much effort you're feeling. Okay, so I think we did just the 7, 8, 2, 3. Okay, so my grip, I can feel my grip getting a little worked as well. Okay, and for this one, I feel I can do up to 10. Okay, for you, it might be a little different. Okay, and because we actually did more repetitions because we did 3 in each round in cut, my grip was actually almost a failing point for this. Okay, so for next time, I might find another strategy to work through this. So if I want to work my grip, okay, perfect, I can continue to do this. But you find that you can't hold the band for as long, then you can have other strategies like you can grab any sort of bottle, just wrap it around, and then so you can grab it. So it's a little more comfortable because it's a little bit bigger. So this might be a little easier next time if I find that my fingers is bothering me, then I might do something like this where I can wrap around something thicker and that'll make it easier on my grip. Okay, so let's go on to the second one with the hips. So that's the one where you kick out to the side and then kick out towards the back. Okay, if the band was too much for you, you can also do it just using your body weight. Okay, so not using the band, but if you feel comfortable, you can continue doing it with the band. Okay, setting at the end. Either hold on to the band on the other side like this, or you can just hold on to the side of your leg like this. And I'm going to change it around just to see which one is more comfortable for myself. So I'm going to hold it, just the band on the side of the leg. I'm not going to be lifting anything. I'm just still going to kick it out into the side. Okay, so for this one, I can feel that my leg is kind of sliding along the band actually. So I'm not really pushing it against it as much. So it's quite a lot easier for me if I hold it on the side like this. For your band, it might be a little more grippy. It might be about the same. Okay, but you can play around, see which one you prefer. Yeah, so my foot is just literally sliding up the band. Well, if I do this, I can still feel this side working quite a bit. Okay, so I'm still okay with this, doing it this way. Okay, but for you, just pay attention to which way you prefer. Okay, so I can only still do about 6 to 8 before my non-moving hip gets really tired. And I'm going to check it out. Okay, once again, we don't need to rush through the routine. For this class, we might have to rush a little bit just because we have a time limit. Okay, but for yourself, you can take your time in between. Okay, and whenever you're ready, once again, to the side, and then more towards the back. Okay, and once again, pay attention to what your upper body is doing. Okay, so let's try not to don't swing around upper body too much. Okay, see if you can just move from the hips. Okay, even if it's a small movement, that's completely fine. Okay, kind of lost count, but I think I'm somewhere around 6. This hip is getting pretty tight. Okay, so I think I might just do at most one more. Okay, and then once again, this might be the non-moving leg. That's more tired. Okay, and we're just going to repeat the ankle strategy balance exercise. Once again, For myself, I probably should move these things behind me out of the way, but I'm going to be a little slightly risky maybe. So if I fall backwards, I might fall on those things, but I will let it. Okay, so trying to check the bottom one again. So once again, it can be completely without the arm support or on a foot touching. Okay, once again, see if you can move your center of mass more over your toes. Okay, and see if you can set your center of mass over your heels. So as you feel more pressure on your heels, and as you go forward, you feel more pressure on your toes. Okay, and see if you can just control it front to back. Okay, if you want, you can try to see if you can spread your toes a little bit further apart. Okay, and see if you can shift your weight just a tiny bit side to side. Okay, or you can try to see if you can push the hips side to side a little bit. It's really more usually hips at this point when you do it this way. Okay, but see if you can differentiate between using hips and maybe a little bit more with your just the foot and the ankle. Okay, so it's a very small movement side to side, but you feel more pressure on the big toe side, feel a little more pressure on the, I think it's called blade of the foot. Okay, and see if you can even draw a circle. Okay, so it's kind of difficult. I just lost my balance. Okay, but see if you can almost go in a tiny bit of a circle. Okay, I'm probably not moving much from your perspective, but I'm kind of doing this. Okay, while standing on the foot, on just one foot. Okay, so check it out. Okay, and when you feel ready, you can do the same thing on the other foot. Okay, so once again, just to exaggerate, I'm literally doing forward, backwards, and then kind of all the way around. Okay, but standing on one leg. Okay, it doesn't have to be completely on one leg. It could be having the other foot slightly touching the floor. Okay, but once again, just pay attention to the pressure point on your standing leg. So more pressure on my toes as I move forward, more pressure on my heels as I go backwards. Okay, once again, it's a small movement front to back. Okay, it's even a smaller movement side to side. Okay, so I can just feel almost my foot just kind of rocking a little bit side to side. Okay, if you really want to, see if you can go in a little bit of a circle. So you're putting pressure on different parts of your foot around the edges. And see if you can go even the opposite way. And you probably feel it, almost your calf muscles getting a little more tight. Maybe the muscles in your feet getting a little tight from this. Okay, so we have about 7 minutes, 8 minutes. Okay, so let's stretch things back out. Okay, so let's take a seat first, just take a break. Okay, once again, do a body scan. Okay, where am I still tense? Where do I feel the most tight? Okay, am I kind of holding my breath or tensed up, or can I just tell my body to relax? More kind of all the time, we hold tension in the shoulders and your hands. Okay, breathing into our belly area. Okay, so we did more gripping stuff today, so let's stretch more about the wrist. Okay, so you can look into your palm, like a mirror, okay, and then put one palm against the other on the other hand. Okay, and you're gonna just pull your fingers down and straighten out the wrists of the fingers at the same time until you feel stretch roughly around the forearm area. Okay, once again, relax as much as you can. Take 3 to 5 deep breaths. Trying to slow down your breathing a little bit. And we're going to do the same thing on the other hand. Okay, so looking into your palm, palm to palm. Pull your fingers towards the floor, straightening out the elbows. Deep, slow breaths in and out. fingers back out. Opposite side. Okay, we're going to put one palm against the knuckle of the other hand. Okay, and we're just going to kind of the same thing, but this time you're pulling your fingers kind of towards yourself, okay, while straightening out the elbows until you feel stretch in the back of the forearms. A lot of people might feel the back of the hand as well, especially if you close your fingers. So take it a little more gentle for this one. Okay, and the same idea on the other side. Okay, so palm on top of the knuckles, pull the fingers towards yourself. Okay, and then straightening out the elbows. Okay, shake things out. We're gonna lock the fingers kind of together. Okay, and just kind of lightly drag the almost lock the fingers and then slightly lightly pull it apart. Okay, and just try to move the hand, the wrist around a little bit. Okay, and then just opening, closing the hands a little bit. Okay. Let's see. Okay, let's do a couple minutes. Let's still do the hamstring first, stretch first. Okay, so same position as when we did a row. Sit close to the edge. Okay, and see if you can lean forward. Okay, you can kind of point your toes more forward. Okay, but keep the chest up a little bit. If we round it, so if we pull the toes up and we round it back, you might feel almost different kind of stretch that actually pulls on the nerves a little bit more. So if we want to stretch the muscle, then we want to have your toes pointing more forward, chest a little high up, okay, but we're pulling the belly button forward a little bit more. Okay, and whenever you want, just switch over to the other leg. Okay, let's do our usual hip stretch. So ankle over the thighs, up the knee, bring it closer to the chest by leaning forward or kind of slightly pulling up with your arms. Feeling the stretch in the fleshy part of your hip. Okay, so not as deep, closer to the side and the back. Okay, same thing on the other leg. Okay, and last time, just a couple of deep breaths. Okay, so try to take a slower breath in. Hold that breath for half a second to a second. Keep breathing out fully. Hold it at the end for half a second to a second again before you breathe back in for 1, 2. Pause. Okay, breathing out for 2, 1. Pause. Last time, breathing in for 1, 2. Pause. Breathing out for 2, 1. Pause. Okay, back to regular breathing. Bring our awareness back to where we are. Okay, so thank you for coming today. Good job, everyone. See everyone next week. Take care.